Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. Once again we're back on TTS due to the various lockdowns across the world, but it does give us the advantage of bringing you two players who you've heard quite a few times on the channel but never actually seen play, so they're going to put their money where their mouth is today. Firstly we have...
It's James. I was not aware that there was money on the line for this one, but I turned up anyway.
Yep, sorry about that. I should have let you know in advance that if you lose, you pay the winner. And on the other side, we have...
Hi guys, I'm Amy.
Hello, Amy. Welcome back. So welcome back, James and Amy. Thank you very much for joining us to commentate on this game that the eagle-eyed of you might have spotted. They're actually playing in this one, so finally getting them down onto the table. So I think it's only fair and right that they get to go through their own lists. So seeing as Amy is our player on the left, would you like to go through what you decided to bring to the table today?
Yep, so today I have fielded one of my favourite lists, which is a triple silencer list. So I'm fielding Blackout, Recoil and Avenger, and all three of them have the same upgrade cards on them, so they're all fielding Fanatical and Advanced Optics.
Nice. Gotta love a bit of triple silencers, and it's very good to have them with the same upgrades. Makes it a lot easier to know what you're doing there. So that's cool. Interesting to see how they do. And James, what did you decide to fly against triple silencers?
I decided to bring triple T-70s because they are my favourite ship, and on a similar line, I didn't know Amy was also doing a everyone has the same upgrades, but I brought all of the T-70s with R4 Astromech, Heavy Laser Cannon, the Integrated S-Foils, and Heroic. The only difference is that 9 Num, who is the green one, has a pattern analyzer, and then the other pilots are the new versions of Temin Wexley and the new version of Poe Dameron.
Excellent. I mean, it made it quite tricky for me to put the list together because I, not going to lie, couldn't tell the difference between them because I very rarely fly them, so I had to go based on the points. But we've got the right ones there, so that's good. So we do have a classic sequel trilogy matchup here, so it's going to be quite nice. And we also have the right board for this type of match as well, which is always good.
Yeah, I was quite happy to see the Starkiller base just make it a much more thematic game. It was always fun.
Absolutely. So I think first is first.
This is one of our first games that I think myself and Amy have played on Tabletop Simulator. So there's a few bits we have to undo or redo just down to learning the system, but I think we get through it fine in the end.
Yeah, we did good.
Yeah, I think you did pretty well. I mean, obviously, it's a bit tricky when something bumps and it doesn't always tell you quite as well, but you're able to back that up, so that's fine.
Yeah, we also had a slight issue with the cards loading in, but the upgrades are there, we swear. You can see them on your screens on the lists that Phil has nicely overlaid.
Yeah, in regards to that, I know there has been a bit of an issue with TTS on that, but to my understanding, that has now been fixed, so all of those assets will load in nicely for you, so you don't have to try and frantically remember who is who by their colour and zooming in on the ships. But as I was saying, it's obviously first time we saw each other's lists was when they were plonked down on the table. So Amy, first thoughts when you saw that James is running triple T-70s against you?
I'm not going to lie, I was a bit scared. It's been a while since I've flown against X-Wings, especially 3 of them. I also haven't gone against the new versions of Poe, and is it Wexley was the other new one? Yes, yeah, I've not flown against them either. So even though I was a bit scared, I was also quite interested to see how they would go, because I've only ever gone against the older versions of the cards. So yeah, I was scared, but it was exciting scared. A bit like getting to the top of a roller coaster and having that fear and then the excitement of going down, going, oh, it's okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. And James, when you saw that you were up against triple silencers, what were you thinking there?
Amy had mentioned before but after I'd chosen my list, she had decided that it was going to be triple silencers. I was really worried that Kylo was going to be there, and he's so hard to catch. But even these it's a initiative 3, 4, and 5. I thought, they're at least equal to or lower than me. I can probably catch them. They go all over the place. They are so maneuverable, and I kind of just point in one direction at a time. So catching them is the issue.
They are extremely maneuverable, and that's one of the absolute draws of the silencers. They've just got a really good dial and just really good repositionability. I mean, the T70s aren't terrible, but to do some of those repositions, you kind of have to sacrifice your firepower there. So
yeah, I quite like this Poe's ability to help his friends reposition to try and get those shots. The main things I was trying here was, I mean, 9 Num on his own is a really good pilot, but I was hoping to get Poe's ability to trigger on 9 to cancel out the stress, which we'll see if it comes up. And I also quite like that Amy and I are both quite evidently aggressive players because it's shooting on the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't see that very often.
This is Poe shooting into, I think that's Blackout.
Yes.
Yes.
So Blackout being extremely aggressive there. Almost like he's saying, hey, Kylo, this is how it's done.
He's quite brave going straight forward into the group of T70s, because obviously I had to group them up to get, Poe's ability in range and Temin's ability in range, and 9 just needs to be by his friends, really.
Yeah, it is a very brave choice to go face-to-face against any ship, really, but especially when you've got a couple of ships like that. But
Amy did do a good job of positioning Blackout, because I did not get to use my heavy laser cannons at all in this engagement.
Yes. Which you'd almost think you've got a firing line. You'd almost expect one of them to pull that off, but no, not today.
Just snuck in between.
I was quite chuffed about that one, especially when I learned that all 3 of them have heavy laser cannons. It's a weapon that I use quite a lot.
Yeah, it's an upgrade I really enjoy on the T70s, just for that extra firepower against something with a lot of health that they often struggle to chew through, like a Decimator or a Ghost or something like that.
Yeah. So it is definitely very effective, and I think with a lot of the Rebel ships and X-Wings and like T-65s, T-70s especially, they've got enough sort of health behind them with those shields to be able to pull that off. Empire players don't tend to really get that advantage, because if you're going to get multiple ships, they probably don't have many shields to do that with. So it is very different style of play between those factions.
Yeah, and again, look how maneuverable these things are. It's just 2 evades, just dodging it all. I've shot at Blackout twice and not done a single bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, that, to be honest, Amy came out of that engagement. Well, we still got one more to
look how close that yellow line is.
It's
for the bullseye.
So close.
I mean, if this wasn't on a computer telling me it's not in, I would definitely call a judge.
Yeah.
Even in a friendly game, I'd call a friend over and go, can you just have a look at this?
Yeah, 100%. So you kind of, it's just that close. It's quite nice that the computer just does that for you.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some benefits to tabletop simulation.
So, it looks like we did miss one shot there, and Blackout has taken a bit of damage, but only 2 shields from 3 shots.
That was the last shot there from Temin. Getting some shields off of him, but no hull damage, so now he can trigger his Fanatical, which...
Yes.
Yeah. I have to admit, that is one of my favourite upgrades to use, is Fanatical across all of my First Order lists. And considering it's 3 against 1 in that position right there as well, even though I was feeling very brave / stupid, I did quite well to get away with just 2 shields missing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've also just realised that we're both running 3 ships from factions, and they're all running their faction-specific talent with heroics and fanaticals on either side.
I mean, I don't think you get any more thematical with this.
Not
really.
much more, no. I didn't have enough points to put BB-8 on Poe.
Oh, yeah.
Them in his astromech. But with Poe's ability giving out maybe some stress, I wanted everyone to have an R4 astromech just for some more blues.
Yeah, definitely. I think R4 astromech it's probably my favourite astromech in the game, just because of
the cheapest.
Oh yeah, I mean there's that. It's one of the cheapest, but just basically turning all of your like basic 1s and 2 maneuvers into blue is just so handy on pretty much every ship that you can stick on.
Yeah, any ship that can upgrade a sharp turn to a blue is amazing. So the X-Wings in particular really benefit from that. So if they're stressed, they're either going to go straight or do some sort of bank, and they're so predictable. But if they can do a turn, then they've just got so many more options.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I almost wish that I had something that could do that on some of my Empire ships. Like, imagine you had that on a TIE Interceptor. Oh my god, the insanity of what you could pull off with that if you suddenly have all of those ones as well. But again, that's why you can't get those sorts of things on that faction.
There's got to be limits.
Yeah. I mean, they're wrong, but there has to be limits. So it looks like we've got some aggressive play here from Amy. So she managed to avoid that rock there, which is quite nice. So really trying to pin in those T-70s.
Looking at it side on as well, it's like, oh my god, that is close.
Oh yeah.
That is very
you're looking at it from the other side. I could see the rock and the model. You, I guess, could only really see the model and not really the gap from where you were technically sitting, I guess.
Yeah.
It is tricky on TTS because the freedom of movement is definitely not there. You can obviously move the camera around, but you're normally probably in about 2 or 3 positions, which is checking your dials, checking the ships, and sort of maybe spinning it around slightly. But you do lose that freedom of movement on TTS. But again, I still think there are some really nice advantages. Like if a ship is going to pass over another ship, you don't have to faff about by moving ships out the way, train tracking it to bump. It knows where it's going to bump. Nice and simple.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry.
So this is Blackout taking a focus, and then I can't remember if did you do anything else after this? Did you do? No, I think.
No, I think I literally just
my little
left
blue
it as
hands
it
moving
was.
around. Right, so this is 9 num, and this is, or however you say his name, and this is how silly he is with just a pattern analyzer. Like this isn't even pose ability triggering. He does a red move to get behind, and then eventually I find the button to check for range 1. Okay, so pattern analyzer action, take a focus. Now I try and find the button to search for range 1 to check for his ability, which is if there is an enemy ship at range 1 in your arc, when you would gain a stress token, remove that stress token. So eventually, hopefully, there goes the little blue hand. Search, yeah, press the button, come on. I'm getting frustrated with myself, come on. And we did check, there's a little blue line, so it's in range 1, so he doesn't get the stress token. So now he carries on his turn, and he gets his regular action, which is going to be a target lock. And it's just a combination that's amazing, and I just can't not use it a lot of the time.
It is so good. I mean, it just adds, especially when you're getting into the thicker things, it really adds that level of extra just availability of actions there. And as we know, actions are sometimes, to be able to have that target lock or focus can be the absolute difference between getting 1 hit and getting 3 or 4 hits.
Yeah, the number of times you go, oh, I've not got any tokens, but I'll roll an attack, and it's all focuses, and you just sit there and you go, well, that's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like when you've got a ship with a force as well, and you're just like you've just spent a force and you've had to do a maneuver or something, and then you go, all right, oh perfect, oh no, if only I still had a force, just 1 force to get that last one, it would be perfect. So yeah, it is one of those things. Actions are handy. Anything that can allow you to keep those actions is a massive boon.
So just going through, Poe certainly doesn't have a shot. Blackout certainly doesn't have a shot. So we go over to 9 with his fully modified shot.
Oh, range 1, fully modified with a focus and a target lock. Brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the advantages these silencers do have is the 3 evade dice natively, so that is quite nice for them.
Yeah, 3 evade dice is just so much better than the 2 that I've got.
Mm.
I think it's 3s across the board, so it's 3 attack, 3 evade, 3 shit. No, sorry, it's 4 hull.
4 hull too.
Yeah, but yeah, it's nice to remember, it's
this
3
is
attack,
the one die that disappeared.
Oh yeah.
And I had to re-roll it, I think. Or, no, it was a blank, but off the screen. That was it.
Yeah.
So spend the target lock on that.
Let's see how brutal that is. Yeah, pretty brutal.
And I'm pretty sure oh no, because yellow had a recoil, had a shot on him, so I kept hold of the focus. So despite having a fully modified shot, still no damage.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It happens. I mean you were up again. Blackout had the focus and had 3 evade dice, so
oh yeah,
you didn't quite have that weight against it, but still.
I do think I kept the offensive pressure up enough to prevent a lot of advanced optics triggering in this.
Yeah. I think although you have, well, Amy's obviously first player in this, where you have Poe, he has the ability to potentially stop Blackout from getting that. Then Nine potentially has the ability to stop recoil, and then anyone has the ability to stop Avenger from triggering that.
Yeah. So this is recoil shooting into 9, and that's why I kept the focus.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to happen, but I'm glad I did.
It's almost like there's a little bit of the force in there telling you.
I think this was the point where in the actual game we were joking that 9 would be doing his obnoxious little laugh at this point.
Yes.
Who's
So we've got
now? This is
Temin on Avenger.
Oh yes, the range 1 shot over there. So some damage going in.
Yeah. So it's a big choice as to whether to try and save Avenger's shields.
Even though we only did this last night, I can't remember if Amy spends the focus here or not.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah,
there we go. I mean, that's the thing. Obviously, we record this the night before we do the commentary, and so much happens in that time. I mean, sometimes there's even days between us doing the recording and the commentary, which just makes it even funnier. Because you're there like, what am I going to do? What did they do?
But these ships are just throwing punches at each other, and
oh yeah, I mean this is round 2, and every ship is now shot.
Yep.
Which you don't.
This is a heroic trigger.
So that's the first heroic trigger of the day.
Honestly, most of the time, heroic does not work for me. Like I roll it again, and I just get another 2 blanks, or a blank and a focus, and I don't have a token. So the fact that I actually got an evade result was amazing.
Absolutely. Right, well, so that's the end of round 2, and that was quite a bit more action in there. So Avengers obviously taking a bit of damage, and Amy's taking some shields off Temin. But whilst we're waiting for the guys to set their dials, just want to do a quick update. So we are currently on 98 subscribers, guys. We are so close to hitting 100 subscribers on the channel. So firstly, thank you very much to everyone that has subscribed to the channel so far and watches the video. We do very much appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, you know what to do. Click that little red subscribe button, make it grey. And if you want to know exactly when the next video comes up, click that notification bell, and we'll be getting you more and more content as the weeks go by to help you through these lockdown blues. And even once that's done, we'll be getting even more videos anyway, because we just really enjoy what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's quite enjoyable to actually finally get a game against Amy, who I've known for quite a while. we discussed a bunch of X-Wing lists, throwing them back and forth on our chats, and it's like, oh, we're finally actually playing. This is kind of weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's really nice though. I mean, we've known each other for years now, all three of us through PlayStation. So to finally play X-Wing against each other was weird, but at the same time, it was really nice, and we did have a really good laugh last night.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun to record the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're all quite thoroughly spread across the country, so it's not like we could just pop to the local shop and play, unfortunately, even with out a lockdown in place. So
yeah, even before all of that, we never really even tried to meet up for a game because it was.
I mean, I think it's for me, it's like a 3.5, 4 hour journey to yours, James, and I think to Amy's it's something like 6.5, 7 hours. So
yeah, we're quite spread out.
Yeah.
Right, I think...
Not more spread out than these ships are at the moment because they are right in the fray there.
Yeah, I like getting just stuck in, really. I probably shouldn't, and I should try and adapt my move. Oh, this is the move that Amy did. And we were like, oh, that was a good little sort of frog leap over Temin to not bump into Blackout.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah. So I think I remember having to double check it on the camera as well, just to think, oh my god, did I actually bump or not? No, I didn't. And then I could still boost as well, get round.
Yeah, sometimes you always don't believe it. I mean, it's nice, obviously, it will, if it does bump, it puts up this little white sticker on the back of your ship that says bumped. You're like, all right, I get it, thank you. But sometimes you just have to check the little game chat on there to be like, are you sure?
Yeah, the little like game history thing that is there. Right, so you went around the rock. I can't. Did I? Yeah, I started to also try and get around just because I figured that he wouldn't have a shot, and I didn't want to try and do like a Talon roll just because I figured I'd be facing the rock or maybe even land on it. So I thought I'd just play it safe with him and just take the target lock. Really.
I mean, one thing I'm quite interested about is the placement of the obstacles. They were pretty much in your half there, James. So between the two of you, was there a particular reasoning for that?
Before Amy placed Blackout right in front of Temin, one of my sort of opening gambits, particularly with the T-70s, is a 4 forwards and a boost. And by putting them so close to my side of the field, I can kind of get immediately around them and into the open space that the T-70s want.
Right, okay.
But Amy came straight at me and didn't really give me the chance to do that. So now Poe and Nine are outside of the asteroid field for now, but Poe's on the edge of the board, so he's not got many options. And Temin is now trying to weave his way through.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, Amy,
tricky.
did you try and put the rocks in my way?
Yes.
You don't
I want to say yes, but I think it was. I think it was just lucky placing. I didn't have an actual plan in mind. Just like, yeah, it'll do fine there, be all right. And then realised, actually, no, this works to my advantage.
Well, you say lucky and it plays to your advantage, but Blackout has just landed on one.
Yeah, so not as.
Yeah.
I mean, he does like to be shooting through the rocks, but normally the understanding is he's not on them. So it's a bit of a shame there, because that all depends on where Poe ends up. That could have been a nice Blackout shot through a rock there.
Yeah, and I moved in 9 to try and get the shot. I can't actually remember if he did. Poe moved straight in front of Avenger, though, so I definitely wanted to boost away from that.
Yeah. It's almost a shame that recoil wasn't there to block that boost. Yeah.
Well, with Poe being at initiative 6, you just don't know.
Yeah.
This is me using Poe's ability, using both of his charges to give himself an extra action, which would be a red focus in this case. So he still has a modified shot. So the difference with the new Poe as opposed to the original one is this Poe has 2 charges that slowly charge up again, so you can effectively do it every other turn, and its friendly ships are ranged 0 to 2, during their activation can do an additional action. So it's kind of his old ability, but for friends every other turn.
Yeah. A nice little coordinate there, essentially.
A little bit, yeah. But yeah, not the best shot. I was hoping for something maybe a little better. Using his target lock from earlier.
Okay, well that just got a bit better.
The focus.
Yeah.
Again, having modifiers helps out so much.
That's Poe just being rude.
But not a bad defensive role.
No, not bad. I mean, shame having to decide whether to use that focus token there, which I believe you did. I mean, you've only taken...
I think this is. Yeah, maybe we just didn't change the dice or get rid of it. Or
well, it looks like Nian did not.
I can't remember that.
Actually have a shot there, so it looks like the token was used there for that.
Yeah,
so
I think we just forgot to remove the token or change the dice.
Yeah,
because the damage is what we thought it would be.
Yeah, and it looks like it isn't going to have any effect anyway because no focus token being used there, and Nian does not have any tokens himself. So
no, because I tried to boost for a shot and I don't have a token in defense, so he lost the shield.
But he was quite fortunate. It was only one.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Could have been better though. And I think we are back to setting up dials.
Indeed. So not a hugely punishing round there, but still pretty good. So obviously these are some of the smaller factions in the game at the moment, not a lot of ships for them. And we've got the announcement from AMG coming on the 3rd of February. So I know there's plenty of other ships for other factions that people are looking for, but is there anything that you'd be looking to see in the First Order and the Resistance guys?
Amy, do you want to go first? Or do you want a bit of time to think?
Yeah, maybe a bit of time to think. I mean, I know some things for Empire and possibly for Scum, but for First Order, I'm not too sure at the moment.
For the Resistance, I would like to see a Y-Wing. I know that it's in the Republic and the Rebels, but it shows up in Rise of Skywalker, and to have a bomber that's not a large base, I think would benefit the faction quite a lot at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it was quite prominently featured in the Rise of Skywalker towards the end of the film, so it'd definitely be something you'd see in there.
So long as there's a Babu Frick upgrade, and all it says is you just shout, "Hey, hey!" That's all I want.
Yeah, I'll take that. That would be amazing.
He wouldn't even have to take up like a crew slot or anything because he's so small. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah, they add a new sort of upgrade slot, the pocket.
Yeah, the pocket.
Only thing that could go in the pocket is Babu Frick. No, that would be quite cool. I mean, that's the thing. Like, the Resistance is sort of the modernized Rebels.
It's definitely the Rebels, but they've all got abilities.
Yeah.
Like with the Rebels, you can take some more generic pilots, but I always feel like the Resistance want the named ones.
Yeah. However, from a lot of the lore I've read, I think they sort of stripped down the Y-Wings quite drastically in their like offensive capabilities. So it'd be interesting to see if they did take that approach to give them a slightly different flair to just being, look, here's a Y-Wing in Resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see them doing something like that.
I mean, you look at the Y-Wing in the Republic, obviously it's got all of its armors and it's got their hull plating upgrade, which is great at avoiding crits until one sticks. Obviously the Y-Wing is the Y-Wing we all know and respect and appreciate from version 1. So makes sense that it would have something slightly different. I mean, maybe less whole plating on it than the Rebel one, because they're not new, they are very old by this point.
Yeah, I don't know if it's... I need to actually maybe do a bit of reading on it, but it might have been like a newer version. Maybe they looked at the Rebel Alliance and said, oh, look, that one's actually working really well. Maybe we'll just make a new one that is a bit lighter on armor. I'm not entirely sure
Yeah.
what the thinking behind it is in that sense. Amy, have you got any ideas for First Order? Or do you want me to just throw out some ideas? Amy?
Well, I mean, something we definitely know First Order is probably missing. I know they've just got the G-Class shuttle, but there is still scope in there for the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, I'd like to see them have like a Knights of Ren crew that maybe takes up 2 slots and has some kind of good ability, because I don't think they're force sensitive. Probably not
think
a
so either,
force point in there. Anyway, Blackout has gone over the rock, as is unavoidable, I think, for him. Didn't take a damage though, so that's good. And I didn't really know what to do with 9 at this point, because I knew I couldn't get guns on Blackout from where I was, so I just went around the rock a little bit.
Yeah, it's always going to be... You were quite close to him, and knowing that he was going to be doing that sort of straighter manoeuvre meant it was always going to be difficult for you to come back around on him. But yes, I mean, the Knights of Ren shuttle would be quite a cool piece. Oh, hold on.
This is the straight from Poe that somehow didn't bump. It was even closer than the earlier thing with the
rock
frog.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and I think I just sit there and just go for the range one shot, just because I want damage.
I mean, it definitely know it hasn't bumped. It doesn't say bump, but if that was something you tried to do in real life, I don't know if you... I reckon you'd probably end up bumping it.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, I can't believe that actually fit either. That was so close.
Well, it was so close. You actually zoomed in and took a picture of it and sent it to our chat. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, the top down view.
It was like half a millimeter.
Yeah, the top down view on that was just like, wow. Also, really shows off how detailed, and the fact they've got the right Poe and Temin paint job on them as well, which is really nice. But yeah, so obviously talking about new ships that we're looking forward to, we mentioned the Knights of Ren shuttle. Amy, I know there's a few that you're looking forward to spread across those factions.
Yeah, so for the First Order, I think for my list personally, the ships were quite balanced. Not to say that if any more new ships of First Order come out, I won't get them, because I will. I like shiny new ships. But I think I'm most looking forward to if they do bring out the TIE Outlander from Mandalorian, with the folding foils.
Well, yeah. I mean, they've done the X-wings with folding wings and a few other ships with moving parts. I could see that happening.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, so that sounds quite good. And the other one was the TIE Dagger from Rise of Skywalker, although I'm now going to nickname that the TIE Dorito just because it looks cool. So I'd like to see maybe if that come out. And
the triangle.
I'll tell you what. If they
how does that land? Surely it lands and just flops forwards. I don't know.
With great difficulty. The thing is, obviously we nicknamed it the TIE Dorito there. James, I know you've got a friend who is very good.
Oh, I might
very good at painting
if it comes out, yeah.
So, I mean, it might be a case of I might commission him to do one as Tangy Cheese, Cool Original, Flaming Hot, or Chili Heat Wave. Yeah, because I think it'd be amazing.
I do want to point out that Blackout did just take a direct hit and is now on 1 health from Poe.
Fanatical is definitely on right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so the TIE Dagger, TIE Outlander, yeah, there'll be Outrider, Outlander, Outrigger, Outside.
You're getting birds mixed up now.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like other factions, I think for Scum, everyone just wants the Razor Crest.
Yes.
Everyone wants it. Everyone wants it.
They've got so many opportunities for cool crew slots in there as well. Also, Blackout definitely getting revenge, taking out all of Poe's shields.
Anything you can do, I can do just as well. It's a shame it was shields because I had 2 crits on you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the typical, defense with heroic dice, though, because you roll them and you get a focus and a blank and you can't even re-roll. This is, I think, 9 shooting into recoil.
Yep. Not a bad shot there.
Spending the title lock on that one, because why not really at this point?
And that's why.
Yeah. Was quite aggressive.
Very aggressive. Very aggressive there. Have your T-70s just like put all power to guns in this round? They're like, shields are gone, we don't need to put power there, let's put more guns.
Maybe. If I could take some of these virtual dice into a real game, I would, because they do seem quite good.
I've had some on some of my games. Some of my rolls with virtual dice have been crazy. I think there was a game I had against you the other day, James, and I needed
our little test game.
Yeah, I needed triple evades to survive, and I actually got triple natural evades, and we were both just there looking at it going, what?
Yeah, it's a real shame that video, we had some technical problems and couldn't put out. So it's a real shame about that.
Yeah, but we'll be getting some games together, don't worry. We've definitely got some interesting stuff coming up.
And again, it's another aggressive shot from Temin with the focus, spending it for 3.
Yeah, brutal.
But
if you can focus, I can focus.
This Avenger guy, he's hanging around.
Seriously, he might be getting a call for the MCU at some point, considering Disney owns both properties.
Next time you fly him, whenever you go past someone on their left-hand side, you just gotta go on your left.
Oh my god!
Or just start quoting all of the Avengers films at your opponent, just to mess with them.
I think I might have to do that, actually.
So even after that situation, you just turn to me and just go, I can do this all day. Maybe try some ones that aren't Captain America, but they're the only ones coming to my mind at the moment.
I mean, to be honest, he's got some of those like just straight deadpan quotes that are great.
Yeah, he's got some good ones. I think we are back to dials at this point.
We are indeed, as Avenger definitely doesn't have a shot.
Yeah.
So going to be coming back in.
Despite having that range 1 shot on Blackout, Poe is now not in the best position.
No.
Rock in front of him, so he almost certainly can't turn to try and chase Yellow, so he's got to go the other way, really.
Yeah, he's heading back the way he came, essentially, is the only thing he can really do.
I was thinking 9's in a pretty comfortable spot to just go forwards a little bit, and Temin, I kind of had a lot of space with him. What were you thinking at this point, Amy? I know Blackout's in a similar position to Poe.
You know what? I actually can't remember.
That's fine.
I know with Blackout, I wanted to try and do something because obviously I'm quite close to that asteroid.
Yeah, and you can't risk the damage with 1 health.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, with Recoil and Avenger, I was going to try and sort of do a pincer maneuver onto Temin and try and get either side.
It definitely seems sort of like the most opportune target for you. You've got the option. You've got 3 ships that can potentially get into a position to have guns on target there, and if you are able to get all 3 ships lined up on Temin there, that would not be a very good day for him. He would definitely be getting a bit snappy about it.
Yeah.
That's yep. Okay.
Hey, dad jokes ahoy, guys! Dad jokes ahoy.
Looks like we're activating. Avenger is coming in, getting rid of his stress, and I mean, I do like the advanced optics on them because you just take the focus. There's no real need to target lock unless you don't have a shot.
Yeah,
it's just so much more consistent. And then with their auto thrusters, you get the little boost or a barrel roll.
Their repositionability is fantastic. That I think they're one of the few ships that stayed as crazily repositionable as they did from version 1 when you used to stick PTL on it.
Yeah, I think they're one of the few ships that can do a double reposition every turn. I think because you can take a boost as your main action and then still do a barrel roll or vice versa.
Yes.
Yeah, not many ships can do that in version 2.
Yeah, you normally have the option of reposition, gain a focus, or
yeah, it's usually a token and a maneuver, or not a maneuver, a move action.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just gonna have a quick scan through some of the ships to see which ones can do what. Thinking about it, let's have a quick look.
I imagine maybe some of the Republic ones. Actually, no, because the new ETA 2 can do maneuvers before moving.
Yeah, so they can spend a force and do barrel roll or boost before. Which
is still good, but not quite the same. Do interceptors, like TIE interceptors, have that?
I'm just double checking my good old faithful TIE interceptors, and yeah, they can double reposition.
Okay.
So they've got the ability to boost barrel roll boost.
Yeah, I think when we were recording this game, you said that the silencers are basically interceptors with shields.
Yeah, they very much are interceptors with shields. I think there's slight variations to the movements that they actually have, but they are pretty much interceptors with shields.
Yeah, and I mean the T-70s are T-65s with an extra shield and a few different upgrade slots.
Yeah, I think in movement, the difference you get there is that you have the 3 Talon roll rather than the 3 sloop, and the 5 is blue. And also in actions, the silencer gains the target lock.
Sorry to interrupt. So here on this turn, I closed 9's wings to let him barrel roll, and did the barrel roll to get a slightly better shot onto yellow. I used Poe's ability to get him a focus token at the cost of a stress, and I really thought he was going to be in range 1, but he wasn't, so I did end up taking the stress, which is a shame, because that would have been really nice.
Would have been really
sneaky. That was a combo that didn't quite work out, but the idea is there.
I mean, we appreciate the idea.
Also, later you'll see that the other part of this combo didn't work in that Temin was too far away to let 9 open his wings again. So I kind of messed up on that, but it's not the end of the world, fortunately. Somehow, Poe did not hit that rock when doing a Talon roll. I really thought he would. I was all ready to quickly grab a stress token, but
yeah,
he didn't.
It is amazing how much clearance. Well, I say that. It's amazing how much of a variance there is between that 2 or 3 hard from what you actually expect. Because there are those times we go, that will definitely clear, and you don't. And there are those times where you go, I'm definitely going over that, and somehow you just clear it.
And sometimes you don't think it through, and you go, okay, I'm going to do a Talon roll, I'll go through this bit of debris, that's fine. And then you land on another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which has definitely happened. That was Temin's range for his ability, not quite close enough to 9. So I think he was shooting with 1 less die.
Yeah, with wings closed, he would be.
Yes.
So just while you're getting those dice ready, I just had a look. The Delta 7 does have the double reposition, but you've got to spend a force to do it. So you don't get stressed, which is quite nice.
That's true.
But you do have to spend a force, which sometimes I kind of prefer just taking a stress to having to spend a force.
Yeah, I guess if you've got a good enough dial to consistently remove the stress, you don't worry too much about it. Whereas spending a force, you lose a bit of offense or potentially defense.
Yeah.
That was Poe's shot onto Blackout, which was just rubbish on this turn.
Yeah.
I can't. Did Blackout have a shot here?
I think Blackout missed, or did not. Was just out of arc. It was so close.
Let's have a look. I think we're going over to 9. So we know it's not range 1. I think, were we checking for bullseye at some point for the heavy laser cannon?
I think we do check for bullseye.
And I don't think I had. Oh no, I did have it. That's why I didn't have to lose a die on this attack. In fact, I actually gained 1.
Yeah,
because it's 4 dice.
It's heavy laser cannon.
This is why I like heavy laser cannon. It's not something that you purposefully try to trigger as much as you can, but when you do get that extra die, the weighting of hits versus evades is so much more in your favor.
Yeah, I mean the fact that obviously hit crits go down to hits is a bit of a shame, but to be honest, it's still pretty powerful.
I personally would rather have more hits than the chance of a crit on fewer dice.
And quick salute for recoil.
Oh, I think I was concentrating on like the dice and stuff. I didn't see Amy pulling out all those cards. Oh.
Yeah.
Do you feel bad now?
A little bit.
What did recoil ever do to you?
He took off a few shields.
Joined the wrong side of the battle. There is a plus side.
He should have joined the First Order.
There is a plus side for recoil disappearing.
Yes,
there,
which I think Phil had to remind us of at this point.
So, Amy, remind everyone of Avengers' ability.
Avengers' ability is... so basically, when another friendly ship is destroyed, doesn't matter what range it's in, you may perform an action even while stressed. So that's quite handy to have, especially with the auto thrusters built into the silencer cards.
So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that obviously you lost recoil, but it did then give you another action there, which is good, because I think that you only had to focus. I'm pretty sure you took a target. Yeah, there we go. That's the target lock.
I think that's the first time I've ever used a target lock in TTS as well. So I was trying to figure out how to actually use it.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. There's a lot of learning to be done.
There's a number of times I forget to flip the dial to start setting a new maneuver and clicking it and doing the maneuver again or undoing it, and there's new stuff to learn. Yeah. I think this is.
So this is Avenger onto 9 num. So spending that fortunate target lock you got there.
Getting the focus. Yep.
So 3 hits. So unfortunately, you still have a shield. So Fanatical didn't come into play.
Yeah, and it's range 3 through the rock. So I've got 4 dice, but historically, I have had to spend heroic on a roll like this. Fortunately, that didn't happen. I was quite surprised myself by that.
The green dice are definitely a lot nicer in this game anyway.
Oh yeah, I've definitely had words today with my own physical green dice. I've shown them the tabletop dice and gone, look at them. Now look at yourselves. Now can you be like them?
I could just imagine you doing that as well. That's hilarious.
I think we are now back to Dars because Temin did not have a shot because he's facing away.
Absolutely. So another thing I was just having a look at for talking about ships that had the double reposition, one ship that definitely did lose it was the Fang Fighter.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it?
Because when you used to be able to have push the limit on there, you could do that boost and barrel roll. But now they don't have that. They've got
it's one or the other?
Yeah, they've got the linked barrel roll or boost to focus.
But despite not having a double reposition, they're still really good.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely insane. So, I mean, but that comes with having the inbuilt Concordia face-off, and then all of those pilots have got their extra little bits, and then you've got Fearless on there. They are scary.
Yeah, Fenrau is a threat.
Yeah.
In every game he's in.
I mean, you can see how much of a threat he is when it's Fenrau with just Fearless is 71 points. So he is more expensive than Poe Dameron right now, and Poe Dameron has 4 upgrades on him.
That's a good point, yeah.
So
normally my Poe is a bit more expensive as well, but I guess with it being the newer version of him, he is a little cheaper.
I think he's 2 or 3 points cheaper.
I think it's 2. I think here Amy's trying to track down Temin. I can't remember which way I end up going with him, because obviously there's ships on either side of him, and I'm not sure which way I go.
No, I can't remember either. That's why I was thinking if I have a silencer on each side of you, no matter which way you went, at least I'll have a shot from one of them.
That's normally quite a good way to go. That's not too bad.
I was just time roll that way.
It all depends now on what Blackout actually does. If Blackout had done the 2 forwards, that would be brilliant for Blackout.
What did he do? Ooh. Oh, he went that way.
Yeah. I don't think that I was thinking that you would do a 4K. I thought you were going to try and do some form of turn or talon roll, so that's why I was thinking, I'll do that and still try and pinch it in, but
yeah, well, with that
it didn't work.
it was the talon roll to ship right, so if it was talon roll to ship left, you'd have had him quite nicely. In fact, you'd have had both. Even
despite not getting Temin, you still managed to get the boost for a shot on to 9, so it's not totally wasted, because I was limited on what I could do from the stress, so I'm going between those rocks at least. I can't reposition too well. I think I did open my wings at this point, so no barrel rolls at the moment. And then I think we're over to Poe, who just went a bit forward.
It almost looks like he's back in that original line that he was running earlier.
Yeah, Poe, well, I guess most of my T-70s end up kind of just going back and forth. I used to run all of them with Pattern Analyzer, and it was just jousting constantly before that just got a bit boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then I think Poe... Oh yeah, I had an option to maybe shoot Avenger, but with Blackout on 1 health, and potentially going to get simultaneous fire onto 9, I definitely wanted to try and finish the job.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a very good option there.
Also, it's a little tricky to tell, but I did accidentally give 9 a calculate token on this turn. That is supposed to be a focus. I think I do switch it at some point.
Yeah, I remember now. You had to switch it because it was bugging you.
They look so... Well, the thing is, I was using quite a zoomed out view in Tabletop Simulator, and the little button on the dials to spawn in the tokens are quite small. I was like, that one.
And that's definitely not a roll you want to keep a ship alive with.
Yeah, the dice gods were not with me.
So that is a bit of a shame there.
Yeah, Poe once again being very angry with the First Order in this game.
Yeah, he was quite angry throughout a lot of this game. But one of the big advantages there, if you can call it an advantage at this point, is it does mean Avenger does get another action.
Yes, I can't quite remember what he does actually, because I think you'd already worked out that you had. Yeah, I think you'd already done a boost, so I don't think you could do another one.
It was the barrel roll that you'd have left.
Or another target lock. I can't remember which one you do.
No, I can't actually.
We'll find out in a sec.
I mean, the most ideal move would have been the boost, because that might have got you out of Nian's
Well, I mean, if you hadn't
arc.
already done a boost, she just would have been closer to 9 already.
Yeah, true.
Looks like...
Or do I barrel roll out the
probably
way?
barrel roll. I think you barrel roll to at least get some distance. Or no, you barrel roll towards Temin to get a shot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the wise option there, yeah. Because you want to, at this point, you need to be getting shots as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the 20-minute mark, and it's, in all fairness, it's not looking particularly great score-wise for you.
No.
But, as we know, silencers are squarely.
They're tricky to catch, and you're definitely going to see that.
Yeah.
So this is 9 taking the range 3 shot, which I wasn't particularly hopeful for. It's a range 3, and there you go. Spend your focus. I think at this point you kind of need to keep your ship alive. Although I think you had the shot.
No,
I had a shield. Yeah, I've got rid of it.
taking the shield, keeping the
yes.
focus, triggering Fanatical.
Yeah, you took the shield on purpose to trigger Fanatical. That was it. Oh, and this was another very close one, wasn't it?
Yeah, just
They
in.
both just barely had a shot on each other.
Yeah, they clipped each other so slightly. It was so parallel as well.
I can't believe how many of those were in this game where we were like, how is that in?
Yeah. There was so many like maneuvers and angles that ended up parallel with each other. It was a mathematician's dream. It really was.
Someone get 3PO. Tell him the
Yeah.
So this is Temin taking a shot onto Avenger.
Yep.
No modifiers for him though, so just the one to avoid. Which I think you
And it looks like it was
did.
avoided, which is quite nice. I think what now makes it quite difficult is chasing down one maneuverable ship is quite tricky, because although you've got the initiative bonus there, you still need to be in a position you still need to sort of half anticipate where they're likely to go so that you can then make the most out of your initiative.
Yeah. And this is Amy triggering the focus with the token and then Fanatical with the ability.
Yeah.
Against my 2 of 8 dice.
And the final shield on Temin.
Yep. The other issue that the T-70s have against a maneuverable ship is that when you're so close to the enemy, it's actually much easier for them to dodge you.
Oh yeah.
Like at the moment, I've got decent range, I've got quite wide arcs. And,
You can spread it out quite nicely.
yeah, and I feel like this is quite a good demonstration for the channel, considering we are the out of arc gaming channel, because
Yeah.
that's going to come up quite a bit.
I mean, the thing you've really got to try to do when it's one ship left is you need to keep those firing arcs as wide as possible with all those ships to try and create those kill zones where they might be able to get out of 1 or 2, but they can't get out of all 3.
Yeah, and I did not really do that.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the borderline of being just in the right start position to do that. I
Yeah,
think
also,
if I
Avengers-
was like back a little bit, it'd be better.
Yeah, Avengers also got a lot of open space to play with.
Oh yeah, and the ability to move into that space quickly. It's almost like Avenger can just go, you know what, if I go right,
Which I did.
Yep.
if I go right and then zoom forward into there, I honestly didn't remember this happening, but it now sort of goes right. Poe's going to struggle. Is Poe likely to have done a 4K? Not sure.
No, because of where Avenger originally was. I was thinking, I think I probably just did like a slow one straight maybe. I think 9 went really fast to try and catch up because I forgot that Avenger could do, the turn and the boost to just get out of the arc.
Yeah.
So I think, I went very fast. I mean, you can see where I thought Avenger was going to be. Like there. That would be great.
Yeah, kind of right where 9 is now is where you were hoping
so
Avenger
I
was
boosted to try and get a shot. Poe, I think I was looking at it, I was like, I don't think he has a shot. So I think I just taken target lock.
Yeah, you didn't look like you were quite tempted
I
to risk
boosted.
that.
Yeah, I think I boosted just so I had a cleaner turn next time for just turning around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got 3 shots on the board, and Amy's positioned herself, so only 1 is shooting at her, which is very good.
Yeah, I think as an evasive play there, that was done really well. See,
because I had to boost to get the shot, so it's just natural dice.
And I focused it.
And
Amy's got the modification, yeah.
Yep, because why would you not have a focus?
Yeah, I think the only downside for Amy there is not having the ability to shoot back, but you haven't taken any damage there, Amy, so that is in itself a positive.
Oh, definitely. I mean, at this point, I'm thinking, right, well, definitely Poe and Temin want to turn around, so I think they both end up just doing 4Ks. And then for 9, it was a question of where the hell is this guy going to go?
Yeah.
But also, is Poe going to be in the way if I want to do a turn and maybe a boost? Was what I was thinking. Amy, you were probably trying to turn around to get some shots, I think.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, I tried to do a 2 sharp because it's a blue maneuver to clear my stress. It would have been tight enough to hopefully bring me back round. I can't remember if I boosted afterwards as well.
That's definitely the 2 turn.
Yeah.
Clears the stress.
And the boost will get you nicely next to Poe.
Yeah, I did.
So potentially Nian's out of this round. Obviously there's the 4K that we anticipated from Temin.
Yeah, which does give him a shot, but again it's
unmodified.
It's range 3 unmodified, unless I have to trigger heroic, but that's effectively just another unmodified shot. Yeah, I think I was considering if only Poe wasn't there and I could close my wings and barrel roll and stuff, but fortunately the boost did just get me close enough.
Yeah, it gets you in a nice position there.
And this time the combo with Poe does work, because I get the boost to get into position and use Poe's ability to give him an action, which I think ends up being it's a target lock on this one, because I just wanted offense. I wanted to get some damage. And not Blackout, Avenger is range 1 in arc of 9, so he does not get the stress.
I love it when you press tab on TTS and it gives you those arrows. It does very much remind me of a catchphrase.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Say what you see.
Starkiller base. Yeah, and then the K turn from Poe, because also Poe doing that, he's definitely not going to use his ability on himself, so I was quite happy with how that turn ended up.
Yeah, and I think that just ended up as range 3 there.
Yeah, just edging the range. But again, Poe, so angry in this game. I don't
More
quite
of
know
Poe's
what's
angry,
going
guys.
on.
He's
Yeah.
got a vendetta against me. That's what it was.
So
Yeah, maybe Avengers got the wrong name. Maybe that should be Poe.
Yeah.
But only 1 damage.
yeah, it's not bad at all there. I mean,
Could
that's
be
sort
much
of
worse.
that's about average of what you expect on green dice.
Then I think, oh yeah, now it's the range 1 from 9. And despite having,
Ooh.
the target lock, it's okay, not the best roll. Okay, well, I spend the target lock, and then you get a roll like this.
Yep.
It's improved.
One better.
It has improved.
I mean, that is
but
definitely
that's-
less than average.
But considering the rolls Poe's had, I had that coming.
Oh yeah, it definitely outweighs itself there when you add in the fact that Poe has just been very, very rude this whole game.
And yeah, Timin had his range 3 as well.
Range 3. I mean,
Not particularly hopeful about it. Definitely not hopeful after that.
I mean, 3 T70s shooting before Avenger and only 1 damage going through is, not gonna lie, pretty
I think at
darn
this
good.
point you weren't sure who to shoot at, and we were looking at them. It's like, okay, well, Poe's more points, and they're both on the same health because both Timin and Poe had lost all their shields at this point. So you did take the shot on Poe with the 2 focuses.
Yeah.
And although the white box is on top, I think you do have the token.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the tokens, so
And Fanatical.
yeah, so focus fanatical.
And range 3 with the 3 dice, and I dodged 1.
And there is the crit going through onto Poe, which is a lovely fuel leak.
Yep, so that's very threatening on a T70, particularly when Avenger has Fanatical and can quite easily get another crit result.
Yeah, and also another good thing as well, that gets some points on the board there for Amy, so
Yep.
which is brilliant. Avoiding that frustrating tabling. But again, I think that was, although that was a great round for positioning for you there, James, your dice
It turned out brilliantly for Amy.
Yeah, your dice weren't able to capitalise on that. Amy's managed to get a fuel leak on Poe and get points on the board. I think, yeah, well done.
Yeah, she turned around, got straight back in the fight. She didn't have to disengage and K-turn or anything like that. So, yeah,
Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I was looking at that, for me, I'd be thinking, right, I want to disengage and sort of like reapproach this by now. But Amy just went, nah. I've got deadly dark ships that just want to get right in there and attack you. So, all ahead full, please. And exactly, all ahead full. Let's just get right in that fight.
Yeah, I have to admit that I do prefer that kind of
staying in the fight.
Yeah, it's I'm playing the bad guy, therefore I've got to keep it up and shoot lots of.
Oh no, I agree.
I don't run away.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I like 9, because he can more consistently just do the K turns, stay unstressed, and stay in the fight.
I do like that barrel roll you did there.
Yeah, that was
quite
good.
Nice.
I can't actually remember what I did here. Oh yeah, I thought you were going to go that way.
Ooh, that is nice.
Yep. Again, because you're a lower initiative, I was thinking, I could at least reposition a bit, but I was completely overestimating your position. Well, not just getting it wrong, really. I was like, well, I guess she'll probably go this way. No,
Yeah,
never mind.
I think that's one of the advantages you get with lower positioning is you can clog up those lanes, which is where like low initiative swarm lists work quite nicely, is that they can just clog up lanes and make it harder for those higher initiatives that need that maneuverability to take advantage of that.
Yeah. And then Rose over to Poe, who also went that way.
Yeah.
So I really should have, not put all my eggs in one basket there.
And I think
now it's not in a good spot.
I think something that is also great here for Amy in this position is that you can now quite easily get behind James.
Yeah, I was really worried at this point, particularly for Poe, just because of the fuel leak on him, and I really didn't want to lose effectively the commander. I mean, I think his new nickname is Resistance Commander or something like that, and his ability to pass out extra actions is so good. Temmin's hasn't really come into play, but it's still a good ability. I do like it. We haven't really discussed it actually. His ability is at the start of the engagement phase, each friendly T-70 X-Wing arranged 0 to 3 can change the position of their S-foils at the cost of, I think, a strain, but they also get a calculate, which is quite cool. I didn't get to trigger it this game, but if you've got the position, taken a target lock, and then you open up the wings, you got a target lock and a calculate for hopefully some good offense, which I quite like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know you did the unboxing for the channel for the Heralds of Hope, and there were a lot of really cool pilot abilities in there. I think it was a very good box with the stuff that you did actually get in that pack. So
yeah, I still need to have a go with some of the A-Wing pilots. Some of them look particularly fun.
I think it's almost like Resistance is... I know we haven't really had them on the channel, but for Resistance, they do seem to be very favourable of the A-Wings, which is ironic because they were in the sequel movies for all of about 5 minutes before they all got blown up.
Yeah, well, we don't need to talk about that. And again, I totally guessed wrong as to where Amy was going to be. It's just a guessing game for me. I'm like, is she going to go there? Is she going to go there? I figured Poe could at least do a K-turn and have some distance, but Avenger was actually much closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think that's just shy of range. No, well into range 2 there. Again, trying to work out the distances and angles on here is quite difficult.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky, particularly because you also kind of don't want to go and zoom in as a player, because then your hand's right on the board and you're like, oh, they're looking at that, eh? Not the best shot from Poe again.
No,
quite easily dodged. And now the returning shot into Poe.
Well, gonna check.
Check
9 first, because he may.
9's the one just behind.
Oh yeah, so.
This is the turn where we forgot that Temmin was over there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We do Temmin's shot afterwards by mistake, but it's fine. We both agreed that we were happy to roll Temmin's attack afterwards.
Yeah. So spending that focus with advanced optics there.
2 blanks, so triggering heroic, really hoping to not take some damage and avoiding 1, which is a plus for me.
Do you want to quickly run through advanced optics for those that aren't as familiar with the tech upgrades there, Amy?
So advanced optics is basically if you've got a focus token but roll a blank, you can still spend that focus to turn that blank into a hit.
Yeah, it's so consistent.
Great. Especially combined with Fanatical.
Yeah, it's a really good, it's a fairly cheap combination as well. Advanced optics is what, 4-5 points?
I know Fanatical is 1 point, I think. Let me just double check it. Oh no, sorry. Fanatical is 2 points and Advanced Optics is 5.
Okay, but for 7 points, you've got very consistent attacks every turn. Also, that was Temmin's late shot, which ended up just being a complete miss anyway. So, fortunately, that didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't affect the modifications from Avengers shot there, so we didn't have to roll anything back, which was quite nice.
Yeah. I think this turn I was thinking, well, Poe is almost certainly too close to Avenger to get a shot, so I think I'd probably just run away with him and try and get some distance from Avenger with the other two to try and line up a shot later, I think.
Although with the clock very rapidly ticking down,
yeah, this might have ended up being the last turn. I can't quite remember.
I believe it was.
Okay. Maybe I just went, let's just try and get the shot. But again, I still don't know if Amy's gonna, turn in, try and get a shot, or run away, or what have you. So.
Well, I think at this point we definitely know that Amy does not know the meaning of the words "run" and "away" when put together.
No, I mean it's a friendly game. If it were a tournament, I would probably say, yeah, run, keep your MOV and all that. But it's a friendly game. I'd certainly do the same as Amy and just go, I'll try and take out as many of you as I possibly can.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down fighting. So.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
definitely, way more fun that way. And it looks like we are going to get an absolute face-off here.
Yeah, he's Timon's at least caught Avenger.
Yeah.
I can't remember if the others do. I think maybe Poe. Maybe Poe did just do a one forward. I can't actually remember. We'll find out in a second.
Yeah.
That was
talent
roll from 9. I think I maybe I did a boost to try and. Oh no, I did the pass analyzer
for the focus. You were struggling with the it wasn't.
Oh yeah, I got frustrated at this point. You can see that the menu keeps disappearing on me. Like, all right, I'll just grab it from this other pile over here. I was getting a bit annoyed with it at that point. Oh yeah, I just took the stress. And then Poe changed his wings. Oh yeah, and I did try to run away a little bit. I think at this point I was wondering if because I didn't think the barrel roll would fit to get me a shot, so I was hoping to do a boost and then a barrel roll to get a shot, but that just didn't work out because after doing the boost, I was there, and that just didn't work out at all. Again, Avenger has avoided at least Poe in this situation, so
I think since Avenger became the sole silencer on the table, only one turn did you manage to get all 3 guns to bear, and
I got one damage.
One turn he got 1 damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, very, very well flown there, Amy. That aggressive style really worked in your favour there.
With them being so maneuverable, staying so close to me really benefited you.
Spending the
looks
target
like this
lock.
is me spending the target lock to try and get enough damage, and not quite getting it. Spending the focus, so still not enough to outright kill on this shot at least. And then
I spent the focus.
You've still got your fanatical.
I mean, when you've got a range 1 shot coming in as well, you've got to take that focus, because otherwise you're down to 1 health.
I think if you can stop 2 hits, you stop 2 hits, and then you hope that Temin doesn't get
do that. Yeah. So
that's just mean.
Temin's finally gone, finally found you, and actually fired his guns. And unfortunately, you didn't have the focus anymore on this one.
But I mean, what I will say is that was thoroughly entertaining. It really showed off the frustration and staying power of those T-70s, but also the maneuverability of those silencers. It was just Yeah, very well done, guys. I very much enjoyed that. And I hope you guys enjoyed
Oh,
playing.
it's great fun to
Yeah,
finally have a
definitely.
game against Amy.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be getting some more games done between the three of us and a few of the other commentators that are on the channel.
Cool.
So hopefully we'll get those up for you very soon. But again, guys, thank you very much for taking 2 evenings out of your very busy days
That's
to
right.
play and commentate with us. I very much enjoy having you guys along on the channel. It's great to get a chance to have a chat with you and watch the game that we love so much.
Yeah, well, thanks for organising it all.
Yeah, thank you for having us again.
Anytime, guys. Right. Well, guys, thank you very much for sticking around and watching the video. As I mentioned earlier, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell. Very close to that 100 subs now. But we'll leave the video there. And again, we will see you next time.